Like, how do I even know if somebody's on here? I literally cannot believe that somebody came on this live. But I had to, I don't know, you guys, for those that don't know, like, I started doing like webcam work. Hey, you guys. So I started doing webcam work, and I don't know, you guys, it was the scariest thing that I'd ever done, because I think when I started like doing webcam work, when I started basically doing porn, I felt that it was the point of no return, and I felt that no one would ever love me and no one would ever accept me. But you get to a point in your life where you're like, even though I might get backlash for this, I need to somehow keep my head above water, and I need to figure out how I'm going to save myself in this situation. So that was like a major contributing factor. And fuck it, yeah, I just didn't push past the pain. I'll never forget the first day I actually went and like did my first cam show. Now, you have to understand, I grew up Mormon. I grew up very conservative. I never, like, sex was just not a part of my world. So to go from being super, super conservative to shooting a porno was, I don't know, challenging to say the least. But surprisingly, I've been successful. Like, I didn't think that I would actually blow up the way that I've blown up, but thankfully, you know, my videos are doing well. So today I just wanted to talk about, I was actually talking to a friend of mine about a month ago or something, or a couple of weeks back. And you know, when you're trans and you have another transgender friend and the same DL men hit y'all up. I don't know if you've ever had that experience, but I love that. I love talking to other trans girls and hearing their experiences just with guys and everything. And as we were talking, I didn't want to talk about guys, and I know she also didn't want to, but it's one of those things where it's an unavoidable topic. You know what I mean? I feel like we all want connection. We all want love. We all want that fairy tale. So yeah, like, so that's why, like, guys are always going to be a part of the conversation. Anyways. Hello, Clinton. Hi. You're the first person to ever comment on a live, so I appreciate it. Anyways, so me and Hazel were talking, and I don't know, it always gets me sad when I talk about relationships, because I see how so many of my friends struggle, and I see how I've struggled. And it's crazy, because when you think about it, like, all that transgender women really want is to just feel loved and accepted and to have some form of connection. And that in and of itself is not bad. But what is bad is the desperation that we sometimes have when we interact with these men. Let me not say we, let me say me. I know for myself, whenever I've interacted with guys, there's been almost this energy of desperation that I couldn't shake off. And I would see how I was acting, and friends would tell me how I was acting. But something would just come over me whenever I was in the presence of somebody that I liked, or in the presence of somebody that I wanted to be with. I felt for the longest time that being trans kind of canceled out any positive qualities that I had. So even though I felt that I was pretty, I really felt, especially back then, that being trans kind of canceled out me being pretty. And I felt that I had to almost overcompensate. I felt I had to be nicer. I felt I had to be kinder. And I felt I had to be all of these things. And yeah, it's crazy. And it's kind of like, it got to a point where I realized that I would jump through hoops to be with these guys, and they weren't even quality guys to begin with. They weren't even quality guys to begin with. But I think my need to be loved and accepted and validated was so overwhelming that I completely disregarded the fact that some of these dudes just aren't worth anybody's time. So I shouldn't be out here, like jumping through hoops trying to make this boy fall in love with me. And I shouldn't not take certain decisions or not do certain things because I think this boy is not going to like me, or I think I'm not going to be loved. You know what I mean? So I've gotten to a point in my life where I honestly and genuinely, I honestly and genuinely think that even though I want to meet somebody, even though I want to find love, even though I want to have that relationship, I'm not about to sacrifice myself in the pursuit of it. And as transgender women, we do it all the time. Like, tell me the lie. Like, I was talking to another friend of mine, and she decided not to have SRS surgery because the guy that she is dating doesn't want her to cut it off. And she's literally not going to have a life-changing surgery because she fears losing a man. And it's crazy, it's crazy when you actually say it out loud. It's crazy when you actually say it out loud. It seems perfectly normal when you're in the moment and you are engaging with these men and you're making these decisions about your surgery and about your future. You're making these decisions basing it on this guy's opinion. And it seems normal in the moment, but when you actually say it out loud, you realize how toxic the situation is. And this is why, like, for the longest time, whenever I would see someone or whenever I would date someone, there were certain things that I would keep secret about the relationship because I knew if I told my friends, they were going to tell me to leave. I knew that if I told my friends, they were going to, they were going to tell me the truth. They were going to tell me the truth. So, I got to a stage, I'm going to tie this all into the whole like chatterbait, cam work and sex work thing, but I got to a stage where I was like, if I'm going to sit around waiting for Prince Charming to come and rescue me, or sit around for Prince Charming to come and help me and save me, I'm going to sit around like, I'll die waiting. So in this moment, at this time, I need to save myself. I need to find the strength within myself to get through this life. And I basically need to save myself. I'm not gonna be saved by a man, and I'm not gonna not act out of fear that my actions are going to make me less desirable, because that's what it boiled down to. The reason I was afraid to do, thank you, Israel. The reason I was afraid to do like pornography, the reason I was afraid to do cam work was because essentially I truly believed in my heart of hearts that those actions would make me less desirable. I believed that those actions would make me less palatable for a society that doesn't even like trans people to begin with. You know what I mean? And I just had to get to a point where I was like, girl, this society's been not wanting me. These men have been trash. Not all, but a lot of them. So I'm not going to choose not to act out of fear. And I'm so glad that I took the decision. I honestly am. I honestly am. I can honestly say, like, even though it's not something that I thought that I would do, and even though I still think that I'm going to face consequences, I still think I'm going to face consequences of some sort. But I realize that, you know, you can choose your actions, but you don't choose your consequences. And I'm ready for whatever those consequences are, because this is a decision that I decided to make. So, my family does not know that I do cam work, and they don't know I've done porn. And it's very scary to sort of live in that kind of space of being an adult, you know, like an adult performer, and your family doesn't know. I'd initially wanted to tell my mom that, you know, that I'm doing cam work and I've done this right at the beginning. But I love my family, but my family very much doesn't care. My mom very much is in her own world, as she should be. And this is going to sound very weird. I don't think that I ever was a priority enough for her to care that I'm doing something like this. So it's like a double-edged sword. It's kind of like my mom's not angry, she's not killing me, but at the same time, it's one of those situations where it's like, I don't care. Oh my gosh, Kathy, hi. How are you? How are you? I literally am just talking about the whole pornography situation and all of that, girl. But yeah, my family doesn't know, and it was actually kind of crazy because I uploaded a video. I uploaded a video about Victoria Kaiser. I was so PC in that video. The things I wanted to say, but I couldn't because this person had a huge platform. Anyways, I digress. So I upload the video, and then I upload it on my on my Facebook. And yo, Kathy, like, girl, like, it was such a whirlwind. I had 3 friends contact me, and they were like, "You didn't tell the full story. Why did you leave this part out?" But anyways, I digress. I don't want to focus on that right now. So I upload the video on my Facebook. I have my family members on my Facebook. And even though I come from, obviously my mom is very neglectful and she didn't really give 2 shits about me. Like, she's not a bad person, but she didn't really care. Which is, you know, I have trauma, but it's chill. So I also have cousins on my Facebook. And I know that I know my one cousin saw the post because she commented and she liked the video. And my cousin absolutely loved her. She was like my babysitter growing up, sweetest girl ever. But she is a notorious gossip. That whole side of my family, they gossip like no one's business, because it is no one's business. And I know for a fact that my cousin told my aunt. I know for a fact that my aunt is going to discuss it with my mom. And I don't know how to have that conversation. I don't know how to have that conversation. And this is why, like, I have to move out, you guys. Like, I really have to move out. I have to go back to Cape Town. For those that don't know, I literally live in a small town in Africa. A small town in the middle of nowhere in Africa. So I really need to get out of here. I really, really have to. But just, I don't know if I want to get messy. Going back to that story time, the whole Victoria Kaiser story time, I was so nervous to upload that video. So most of my subscribers are American. And the reason I'm going live now is because I know South Africa's asleep. So I was terrified to make a story time about this person. I was absolutely terrified because this person, Victoria Kaiser, has 20,000 subscribers. She has 20,000 subscribers. I actually want you guys to please go on to, like, just go on Twitter and type in Victoria. Girl, I'm about to spill. I'm about to spill. I held back on that other video. And the reason I held back was I very much wanted to, I didn't want it to seem like the reason I was angry at her had to do with those other things that she did. I only wanted to focus on what she did to me. But this girl, let me tell you how problematic this girl is. This isn't why we fought, but this is how problematic she is. She starts a GoFundMe. She starts a GoFundMe for cancer patients. There's a video on YouTube where somebody exposed her. Starts a GoFundMe for cancer patients, for children that have cancer in 2020. Wait for it. 2 months later, she goes on live and she uploads and she's like, thank you everyone who donated to my GoFundMe. I really appreciate it. I finally have enough money for my boob job. Like, y'all, I wish somebody had recorded my reaction when I read, it was just kind of like, who creates a GoFundMe, right? Just so they can save up money for a boob job. Okay, I'll be fair. I understand as a transgender woman, these gender affirming surgeries are so important for us. However, don't be dishonest. You know, like, if you have a platform that is that large, just be honest with your subscribers, be honest with your people. And the ones that want to will donate to you. So yeah, that please go on YouTube and watch this video. It's called Victoria Kaiser is a Thief. I remember, like, a friend of mine was like, you need to bring that up on your video. And I was like, there's no way. Like, I'm not ready for her people. I'm not ready for her people. And her people never came. I was really, really surprised because I was like, if you upload this video, this will be the end of your YouTube. I'm not going to call this a career. Thank you. As if corporate child exploitation isn't bad enough. shaking my head. Shame on her. I wish that was the worst part. I wish that was the worst part. There's this other guy. His name is Dominic. And he makes videos about her. But yeah. Anyways, I was scared that I was gonna pretty much end my YouTube. And that kind of scared me because even though I don't get money from YouTube, this channel is so therapeutic for me. It's so therapeutic. And I feel like I know you guys. You know what I mean? So I was afraid her people were going to come after me. Girl, not a damn person came after me. Not a damn. Well, I mean, her personal friends that she knows. And I'd remember being like, girl, I mean. But anyways, so I upload that video. And in the video, the reason it was such a vulnerable video for me, let me help you understand why it was a very vulnerable video for me. Number one, I had lost my job, so I was unemployed, and I wasn't talking after the fact. I didn't make the video when the situation got sorted out. It was very much in the middle of the situation. And to actually go on the internet knowing and understanding that there's so many people who watch me but don't like me and know me in my world. You know what I mean? Like, I've had situations where people like have made me feel weird about videos that I've shot. So to make a video where it's the middle of the pandemic, you're talking about losing your job, you're talking about currently not having a job, and the judgment that I was gonna just all the backlash that I was gonna get, girl, like, ooh. Like after I shot it, I had to take an anxiety pill and go to bed because I was just kind of like, I've put this out on the internet. Now the second reason it was such a video to make, yeah, obviously I didn't want to be attacked by her people. I did not want to be attacked by her people. But the third reason was, I was going to talk about my sex work. I was essentially going to expose myself, put it out there on the internet for the whole world to see that I'd made videos. And it was just a lot. It was a lot to deal with. I'm doing a lot better now. I'm doing a lot better. I'm doing a lot better. And I very much knew that I wanted to make this conversation. I wanted to have this conversation with y'all. Because I know like some of you guys really do support me, and I love that so much. And I love you guys so much. But yeah, I'm a lot better. But snap, y'all, like, it got to a point like my anxiety and my depression got so bad. I'm still trying to figure out why this happened. And I don't know if this has ever happened to any of you guys, but have you ever stood up and had like a crazy head rush to the point where you black out and you can't see anymore for like a minute or two? That was happening. Like, oh my gosh. And the crazy thing is, yeah, this video has to be private. There's no way I'm gonna make this video private, because I actually had a knight in shining armor come to my rescue at this time. So for those that don't know, I used to date an Australian guy by the name of Jimmy. And I made a video about Jimmy, like, I want to say 2 years ago, called My Interracial Relationship. And then I made a video about us breaking up and him telling his family about me. Girl, it's in the 2019s. So me and Jimmy are obviously, we're still close and we're still friends. We just don't talk at that level. He literally, this boy, like, he was calling me every day. He sent me money. He's, I'm not going to say how much, but like, take care of my rent. And when you think about it, he's paying for my flight ticket back to Cape Town. Like, when you think about it, this is somebody who broke up with me. This is somebody that is very much an ex. And yeah, I just felt very, very lucky and blessed to have him in my life. But there's always that issue. There's always that problem of when, okay, so you and your ex, you're not good together romantically, but you're good for each other in other ways. Cool, whatever. Now, you and him become friends. So me and Jimmy were friends. He's supporting me supporting me like financially, and he's doing all of that, not expecting anything in return. And he's speaking to me every day. And there were feelings there. So do you understand like how like yeah, like I'm in love with my ex-boyfriend. I'm not even gonna try and like make it sound like anything better than what it is, but you guys don't understand what it's like to be in that state where you're so helpless and vulnerable and you feel like your life is falling apart, and your ex-boyfriend, somebody that you still very much have feelings for, comes to your rescue and says everything that you wish a man could say in that moment. It's kind of hard. And like, I talked to my friends about it because my friend Lindsay was like, it's wonderful that Jimmy is supporting you, but do you think it's a good idea that you're talking to him for like 2 hours, 1 hour every single day? And don't you think feelings are gonna come back up again? And y'all need to understand, he's the only constant in my life. And he's an ex. Like, I have friends. I definitely have friends, but the love and the support that you get from a friendship is not the same love and support that you get from an actual boyfriend. So I'm just trying to work through that. And as much as I'd love to go back, I don't know if that is healthy. I don't know if that's healthy. I really, really don't know if that's healthy, because I know day one of dating him, girl, I'm gonna want him to marry me. So, and it always goes back to that. I find that the conversation about like transgender issues and transgender politics and transgender um, things, it always goes back to this need to be loved by someone other than yourself, needing to be appreciated romantically, needing to be validated, needing for someone to look at you and see the worth and the beauty in you. And you may argue and say that that's setting women back, that's setting trans women back. You shouldn't want love or validation from other people, but wanting love and validation is exactly, Kathy, exactly. We all want this. It's part of the human experience. When we're born, we're conditioned into a situation where we need love, otherwise we will die. Now, the trans experience or the trans narrative is unique because essentially trans men and women say, fuck love, I want to be true to myself. I want to first get right with myself and then I'll worry about it. And it's brave because a lot of us in the early days, a lot of us are not dating like that. It's a lot of us are not dating like that. And it's hard to love yourself when it seems like nobody else loves you. I'm sorry, like we can bully trans women all day, every day, and we can shame them and say, oh, you need to love yourself, you need to respect yourself. But if it feels like everybody hates you, like you're gonna start feeling some type of way, it's gonna affect your mental health. Let's stop like having these unrealistic expectations for the trans community. We are so understanding when it comes to down low men. We are so understanding when it comes to chasers. We are so understanding when it comes to cis women and cis men and children and our parents. But when it comes to another transgender woman who looks like you, who has the same journey and experience as you, or gender nonconforming person, why is it so difficult to be like, like, I get it, like I get why, you know what I mean? But anyways, I digress. So yeah, like I'm talking to my ex, but I don't think anything will come from it. I really don't think anything will come from it. But I'm grateful that I have him in my life. I'm grateful that I have all my friends in my life. And even though I haven't met you guys all personally, I'm grateful that I have all of you in my life. And just for your love and support. Girl. Since we are spilling tea, but please go back and watch that video. I want you to see how adorable this boy is. He had like red hair and freckles. We met on a dating app called, I hate the name, it's called Ladyboy Date. But it's the only app that I found that caters for trans women. So he writes on his bio, he's like, he's like, came second place in a race, was the only runner. So I just thought he was adorable and messaged him. We start chatting. And things pick up very fast. I mean, we were chatting like every day. Now you need to understand, I had broken up with my ex-boyfriend Matthew. Okay, I'm not going to make this video public, so I'm just going to say people's names. So I broke up with my ex-boyfriend Matthew. And like, I was still feeling sad and I was on the rebound, and then I meet Jimmy. So I'm like, cool, like, we start talking. He asked me to be his girlfriend. He tells his family about me. And then he decides he's going to basically come down to Cape Town and try and make it work. So just imagine this, like, I've never actually met this man. Never actually met him. Like, very giving me 90 days to wed energy. Never met him. Already asked me to be his girlfriend. For our first date, he had to get on a plane, girl. So it was very much like, oh, it was so romantic. I got caught up in the whole notion of these long lost lovers fighting to be together. Jimmy's wonderful, but Jimmy's a Virgo through and through. And as lovely as he is, the tongue on that man's mouth. There were issues in the relationship. Girl, you missed all the tea, bro. Like, you missed all the tea. There was so much tea, but hey, girl. Hey, yes, this is my first live. Thank you for joining. We're talking about my ex-boyfriend now. Yeah, like, Jimmy was very passive aggressive. Like, he was passive aggressive, and y'all, like, I don't want to get emotional. I really don't want to get emotional. Hey, Benjamin Pink. He would be so loving and compassionate, and he would like, he would make me feel so special. And but he would get mad about like little things, like if I was on my phone, or yeah, like it almost, it felt as though he wanted me to be perfect. That's what I felt like. That may not have been the actual truth, but it felt that if I did anything um that frustrated him, like, you know what I mean? So we were very much I very much wanted the whole relationship to work. I was so like desperate to be with this boy. I loved him so much. So much. So much. I mean, he was the type of guy, like, I'll never forget. Um, we were lying in bed the one time and I wake up. So I didn't want to wake him. So I go and I sit in the living room and I let him sleep in the bedroom. And as I'm sleeping there, like as I'm sitting there, he wakes up groggy as all fuck. And he's like, "Is everything okay?" And give me the biggest hug. And like he just lay next to me and his like head was like lying here. And he was so adorable. He was just so lovely. But um I never felt good enough for him. I never felt good enough for him. I felt like I was on a job interview. Have you ever had that when you're dating a guy where you feel like you're being interviewed? Um, Dating Jimmy was interesting because he set the bar so high for what I expect in terms of men, like how I want them to treat me and all of that. But at the same time, um, he made me doubt myself, like not intentionally. That was never his intention, but I very much like the day when he broke up with me, because remember, we went out like the night before and we actually had a fight. When we would go out, he wanted me to always be next to him because he had issues being by like being alone at a club, and he wanted his girlfriend to be next to him like all of the time. And I am very much like, I go and I talk to people and I go and I hug everyone, and I'm like all over the place. Like I'm literally all over the place. Um he got upset and then we got into an argument and he leaves. And at this point, after he left, I was just kind of like, this guy's going to break up with me anyways. All the signs are here. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to dance. I'm going to enjoy this evening. And yeah, I regret not going home with Jimmy that night because he would have still broken up with me. He would have still broken up with me. But I've learned you don't want to make decisions when you're mad. So the following morning, we wake up, we're lying in bed, we have breakfast, and then we go to the airport. And I just remember, it was so sad. So I asked him, because I'd been thinking about it and I could see just from how he was acting that he was going to dump my fucking ass. Uh, yeah, no regrets. Um, so I asked him, I'm like, so what's happening between me and you? Like, what's the status of our relationship? And he said, he looked at me in my eyes and I could see, like, already I knew the answer. And he was like, I'll message you when I get home. And I was like, cool. And I remember, I'll never forget walking out of the airport. I wanted to cry, but I was just kind of like, for the first time in my life, I understood what the saying, I love you, but I'm not in love with you means. Because I very much feel like he did love me, and he still does in some weird friendship way, but um, he's not in love with me. He's not in love with me. And that's okay. That is okay. We're good for each other in other ways. Relationships really damage us. They really, really damage us. And I kind of feel like the whole jumping from one relationship to another with no breaks in between is so damaging, because I went from Matthew. So I went from Matthew, the British guy. While I was busy vibing with Matthew, Marcelo, well, his name's actually Mario, was blowing me up. Girl, y'all need to, girl, that was the craziest time of my life. I was talking to this one guy, and then Mario, out of the blue, decides to come and visit me. Matthew dumps me at the airport. Basically, I've been dumped twice at the airport. But we move. I'm not gonna get in too deep into the past, because I've told those stories, and I've had to live with the consequences of my own actions, and I learn and I grow. But the point of this live is, I don't want you to ever give up on love, because you deserve it. You deserve to be loved. It's just around the corner, and it's waiting just for you. Now, I always preach about loving yourself first, learning, transitioning shrinks your dating pool. Salt and pepper. Girl, I literally was about to end this live, and you just got me fired up. Okay, thank you for bringing that up. Thank you, Salt and Pepper. I actually really want to address this. And I'm saying this with love. I'm saying this with love, but I feel very passionate about that topic. There are more trans-attracted men and DL men than they are trans women. The numbers are so skewed in our favor. I want you to realize that. Okay, fine. DL men, we don't want DL men, but I'm going to include them for the point of this argument. They're more, and the reason I say that is because trans identified people, we are an absolute minority. We are an absolute minority. I think we make up about 1%. It's under 10. It's under 10. I'm sure it's 1%. Literally. Yeah, it's 1%. Anyways, and like cisgender men make up this drastic amount of whatever. So they're definitely more trans attracted men than they are trans women. The only issue is that they're just not vocal about it. Here's a fun fact. To be trans, you need to be brave, and you don't get the luxury to just say, no, I'm not going to be true to myself. Trans attracted men, they get the luxury to just keep quiet about it. Literally, we are considered as an outline or margin. We really are, Devin. We really, really are. Wait, are we 0.6%? My point exactly. Thank you, Katie. Sorry. So we make such Lee, let me just finish my point. I'm about to get in there. So we make up such a small fraction of the population. It's just that these guys are secretive about what they like. They're secretive about what they like, and they want to hold on to the little bit of privilege. They want to hold on to their privilege at all cost. And they're not about to sacrifice themselves to pursue a relationship with you, most of them. Now, let's identify the different types of trans attracted men. Obviously, we all have the DL men that we just need to stay away from. And we have just general trans attracted men. And within that trans attracted category, there are a lot of fuckboys that will acknowledge your transition, that will respect your transition, and that will be open about dating trans women. But they're still fuckboys. They're still fuckboys. Like, girl, I had to learn that the hard way. They're still fuckboys. Girl, they're still fuckboys. And like, I'm actually not even mad at them, because when you think about it, any other cisgender guy who likes to sleep with cisgender women, he's gonna take it where he can get it. He's gonna want to sleep around with lots of women. And there are a lot of trans attracted men who want to sleep around with a lot of trans women. And they're not embarrassed about it. And I don't think that they should be called chasers. Well, they are chasers. 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 But they shouldn't be called DL. DL means you're secretive. DL means you're secretive. So there's way more of them. There's way more of them. And I really think, oh my gosh, Talon, hi. I really think that we really need to stop calling every single guy that likes us a DL man. We need to stop calling every single guy that likes us a chaser, because we're just shaming the very same men that want to be with us. Because guess what? If you're a transgender woman, let me tell you something that no one will tell you on this motherfucking web. If you're a transgender woman and you like men, your counterpart is a trans attracted man. I always used to think it was a trans man, but I've realized, girl. But yeah, we definitely need to normalize. We need to normalize men liking trans women. But is it us who needs to normalize it? Is it us, the trans women? Or is it the cisgender society? Because I kind of feel like transgender acceptance, transgender education, all of that like lies on us. We're the ones who need to help educate cis people. We're the ones who need to be patient with these men. We're the ones who we need to jump through all of these hoops. And society, girl, society is not that girl. She's not fucking with us like that. But I'm not trying to be negative in this video. I'm really, really not trying to be negative in this video. So now that I've said all of that, super straight movement. I love my little Gen Zs. Super straight movement. Look, let's not pretend this movement has not existed. There have been so many men who vocalized the fact that they only want to be with cisgender, like biological women. And it comes from fear. So this is how I feel about men who don't want to date trans women. If you see a beautiful girl at the mall, you approach her, you're interested in her, you find out that she is transgender, and that is a deal breaker. Now, let's just say the girl is post-op. Why is it a deal breaker if she's post-op? Why does it matter if she's post-op? I'll tell you why it matters. It matters because your fragile male ego cannot handle other people questioning why you're with this person. You are so afraid of what society is going to be saying as a whole, that you totally disregard that this girl is beautiful, that she's friendly, that she's literally the perfect one. You disregard all of that and you tell yourself that, no, I can't date you because you're trans. The worst one is, I don't want to laugh. I really don't want to laugh. And I don't want to be shady. I don't want to be shady. A friend of mine is dating a guy who hates transgender, women, especially trans women, because they're this, that, and the other. But he lets her peg her. And if you don't know what pegging is, you basically wear a strap on and you top the dude. There's nothing that I could say that could explain to you how, like, that is stupid. Like, you hate trans women, but you want your biological girlfriend to peg you. Girl, I'm done. And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. I said this in Leah Bad's video, but wait, hold on. I hate the whole biological aspect of it because people are attracted to secondary sex. That's nothing but facts. Have you ever seen anybody's chromosomes? I'll wait. Have you seen them? Like, it's to the point where I don't even know, like, is XY supposed to be born male or XX born? Have you ever seen, the only time anyone ever talks about chromosomes is when they want to make it seem like we are not real women, or our case is not valid or whatever. That's the only time, girl. Oh, Benjamin, I'm so sorry. The super straight movement is basically this thing on TikTok where a lot of these little boys get on and they talk about, like, oh, I'm not straight. I'm really not straight. I'm super straight. So it's all in line with, I only want to date a biological I only want to date a biological woman. And I don't want to be shady, but I've seen some of those TikToks and I'm like, who's this trans girl trying to fuck with you? Like, what's her name? Like, I need to counsel this girl. Me and her need to, like, have a heart to heart. I need to adopt her because no, we're not doing that. So it's because the thing is, think about it. And this is how I explain to people why liking a trans woman is not gay. Think about it this way. When you see somebody, you see their secondary sex characteristics. You see their boobs, their butt, the softness of their skin. You see a woman standing in front of you, or you see a man standing in front of you, and you are attracted to what you see. Now, just because somebody has certain genitalia does not mean that you will be attracted to that person. Let me give you an example. So let's say you like individuals that have penises. There's more than just the penis that you like. You like the man that is attached to the penis, or you like the trans girl that is attached to, you know what I mean? If you like vaginas, I'm sorry, I'm being graphic. You like the person that is attached to that. You know what I mean? So to discount a trans woman just because she has a part of her anatomy that you will never see, and yeah, like to discount her just for that. Girl, come on. Like, are you attracted to everyone that has a vagina? Make it make sense. Are you honestly attracted to every single person that has a vagina? Because if you are, that's creepy. And yeah, it's only a small part of the attraction. It literally is. Girl, I'm not about to get upset in this video. Hi there. This is unbelievable. I just saw you for the first time the other day. Oh, thank you, Todd. Thank you so, so much. Yeah, I've never met a single person who says, when I say, what did you like about your boyfriend? What did you like about your girlfriend? Yeah, I like the fact that I think they're cute. I like their butt. I like you list these things. Now, let's not be intellectually dishonest, because I do understand that there is a portion of society that enjoys certain genitalia. Um, to be honest, I'm chilled with a vagina or a penis, but there are some people who specifically want a penis or who specifically want a vagina because sexually it helps them achieve something. Cool, whatever. But then don't discount that this person's still attractive. Don't say that now because you found out they're trans, that, oh, like, no, 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 they're ugly, this, that, and the other. You know damn well they're not ugly. They just don't have the part of the puzzle piece that you're looking for. But somebody else is looking for it. A lot of people are looking for it. So, yeah, like literally, just wait. I want to read all these comments. They lie about it because their what? Perceptions is being challenged. Yeah. Yeah, Devin, definitely. Yeah. Totally, genital preference is a thing, but nowadays it's a lazy excuse for girl. It's a lazy excuse for transphobia. It's a lazy excuse for transphobia. Right. So salt and pepper, trans women are real women. Yes, we are women. It's just we got to our womanhood in a different way. I had to fight for my womanhood. It wasn't a gift that was given to me at birth. I had to do things that were extremely difficult to become a woman. But trans women are absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous in all of our shapes, in all of the different ways that we are formed. And I don't want you to ever think sitting there that, because I know I've been talking a lot about trans girls being attractive and men approaching them and then finding out that they're trans. Those are obviously trans girls who pass, but I don't want to create a narrative to make it seem like trans girls that pass are the only girls that are beautiful or the only girls that deserve love. Because, girl, let me tell you something. I've met a lot of trans girls that don't pass, but literally are breathtakingly beautiful. Where it's like, there's nothing you can say because you know she's a bad bitch. So, yeah, yeah, like you're still like your transition is still valid and beautiful if you don't pass. And there's so many people who love that. There's so many people who love that. There's so many people who love that. And Devin, like passing is really an illusion because the minute you say that you're trans, you don't pass anymore. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that when you announce yourself or when you are announced, now all of a sudden everybody sees all of these masculine features. Now everybody wants to talk about your hands. Now everybody wants to talk about this, that, and the other. Now everybody is commenting on your voice. It's crazy. I have this friend and me and her, like, I love her, but we always fight. That's going to be a whole video. It's going to be a whole video. I don't want to digress. I don't want to digress. So like the one thing that she said to me that was so true that I've always believed is that, if you call anyone trans, they get clocked. And even a cisgender female, if there's a rumor that she's trans, people are going to clock her. People are going to see features in her that they associate with masculinity. So if cisgender biological females can't pass 100% all of the time, what hope do we, like, girl? When I realized that cis girls get clocked, I was like, it's cool. It stopped having power over me, because for the longest time, being passable or not being passable had complete control over my life. It controlled where I went. It controlled who I talked to. It controlled which club I went to. But now that I realize cis girls get, I'm good. I'm absolutely good. I'm absolutely good, because I had to get to a point where I realized that being trans is beautiful, and being trans doesn't cancel out the fact that I'm beautiful. Still pretty. And I've always felt, I need to charge this. I've always felt like it kind of canceled out the fact that I was pretty. I couldn't see the fact that I was attractive. I couldn't see the fact that I was attractive. And I'm not out here trying to make myself seem like I'm Beyonce or Kelly Rowland or Naomi Campbell. No. No. But I certainly am what a lot of people would consider conventionally attractive for a dark-skinned Black woman. But because I was trans, I just didn't see that. I just didn't see that. Devin, I'm screaming. Guess what? Our cis women of color low-key are aunts, grandma, and mamas. Not all of us are meant to be stunning and fab. Yeah, not all of us are meant to be breathtakingly beautiful. But the trans narrative, guess what happened? Thank you, you guys. You guys are so sweet. The trans narrative has suddenly become that when you thank you, Kathy. When you transition, you are immediately, involuntarily entered into a beauty contest without, like, you even applying for that. Like, everybody wants you to be a Barbie doll in order for them to take you seriously. They very much want to be shocked. And yeah, like, a lot of us go into it, we go in with the lashes, the butt, all of, like we do all of these things, and it makes a lot of us feel good. And if you love that, go for it, girl. But not all of us are going to do that. Some of us are literally going to be in, like, a pajama top and, like, messy effing hair and, like, you know what I mean? Not all of us are going to be Barbie dolls, and not wanting to be the perfect princess, the perfect Barbie doll does not make your transition any less valid. I have so many friends, and I've always said this, that I'm not a perfect person. I try to be as transparent as I am. And I have my issues about me. Like, I have my own problematic ways. And I have a trans friend who, she really, when she became friends with me, she really just wanted support, and she just wanted encouragement, and she just wanted somebody that was going to help her because she didn't have help. And I remember feeling so honored that she would, you know, like who the fuck am I? And we became very close, but I kind of fucked up in that, and I've talked about this story before. We went out, and, you know, I did her hair, I did her makeup, but we were very much rushing, and she didn't look good, and I let her leave the house looking like that. Girl. Like, you know when you get done with yourself. But anyways, we go out and I'm looking good and she's, looking the way she was looking, and guys hit on her. Didn't that dad? Well, no, they were some guys who hit on me, but all the guys I was looking at were looking at her. And you know what? I deserve that. No, not as a joke. Not as a joke. Her not passing did not mean that I was better than her. And I believed, even though I would have never admitted it, and if you had to say this to me, I would have been so embarrassed and so ashamed. I thought that because I had boobs and I was passing, I thought that I was the better kind of trans. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so the guys all hit on her and we talked about it, and we're cool now. We're definitely cool. She's the nicest girl ever. She's the nicest girl ever. But it made me realize that passing does not mean you are more worthy of love, more worthy of respect, more worthy of attention. Whether you are day one trans. Oh my God! I wish I could say your name. Ari0212, girl, you missed all the tea. Girl, it got messy in this live. Thank you so much for coming, sweetheart. Thank you so much. And I'm so sorry your comments keep getting deleted. I want to just put it out there that I'm not the one deleting comments. I promise. Anyways, the point that I'm trying to make is just because she was clockable, it didn't mean that she was less deserving of love. And just because I was more passable, it didn't mean that I was something special. And I had to learn that the hard way. Life had to knock me down a couple of to knock me down for me to see it. And that's what I want y'all to know, is that y'all are beautiful. You're beautiful wherever you are in transition, wherever you are. And we just need to start loving ourselves, loving each other, loving ourselves. Let me get to some of these messages, because less is more. That's what makes, to rush my transition. I refuse to be fab for the moment. Yeah, that's what it's giving me. That's what it's giving me, that, girl. So let me see. Guess what? Our cis woman of color. So yeah, it's not a requirement. It's not a requirement. It does break my heart though, when trans women are dealing with dysphoria and they get clocked, because that almost killed me. That almost killed me. Because I was dealing with so much dysphoria, and it's kind of crazy. The early years of my transition really, really damaged me as a person. They really, really damaged me as a person, and I'm working on healing myself. And that's the good news. I know that this journey and this transition hasn't been kind to all of us, but the good news is that we can do the work. We can heal ourselves. We can get through this. I'm going to love and leave you guys. Thank you so much for joining my first live. Should I make this live public? I'm scared to make it public because of everything that I said. I literally am scared. So I'm kind of hoping that because it's over an hour, that people aren't going to watch this live. Because I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it. And I know I said things about Victoria in this live. I know I said things like about Victoria in this live, but girl, she fucking deserves it. She fucking deserves it. I could have been so messy. I could have been so messy. There was literally, for those that missed the early part, I was talking about the video that I made about Victoria Kaiser. And I don't like getting into YouTube drama. Like, I've met YouTubers that were terrible, and I've never made videos. I've never made videos because I'm not about to get into YouTube drama. But Victoria, there's a movement. If you go on Instagram and you type in cancel Victoria Kaiser, or you type in Victoria Kaiser girl, it gets messy. But the whole GoFundMe, that was too much for me. That was too much. But anyways, thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your support. And yeah, I had like the best. Yeah, what's your question, Todd? What's up? This was fun. This was so much fun. I literally, do you guys realize like half of the videos that I want to upload, I never upload? There are so many videos I've shot that I just like I don't upload. But I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. I can't wait to see you all on the other side. Yes, I'm a top, Todd. I'm a top. Girl, some of them are messy. I'll make new ones. Please take care of yourselves. Love you.